What's going on, geeks and gamers? Ryan is sick. I was actually a little shocked when the intro's over. So you guys got me by myself. I don't really know what to talk about because I don't really pull the topics. But maybe I could check the old goob and see what's going on out there in the world.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the show, Geeks and Gamers Daily on a Monday. And no, it's not just
like, how long is he gonna let me go? How long?
I didn't tell Jay that I was gonna drop out there.
No, you didn't.
Right before the intro got over, but you can see how ready Jay was to take over. But Jay. That's how ready he was, ready and raring to start the day.
Yeah.
What's going on, Jay?
Goob is so stupid. I'm gonna keep saying it just because you said that in the chat. That's what I heard. You were like, on my morning show, all these people were like, Ryan's sick. He's not gonna make it. You better have have daily ready. I was like, really? I haven't heard anything.
I did tell everybody. So yesterday I was not feeling very good. I did my stream, had to cut a little bit short. Obviously my voice doesn't sound very good. But I told everybody, you're gonna have to tell Jay in the morning. He's got it. He's got daily. He's got to have to run the show. So it's good that they told you very same thing this morning.
They did. So like usually after the morning show, I usually spend like 20 minutes over with my Patreon members on the live chat we have over there. I was like, I am not going to go over there today because I think I might have to make sure that daily's running smooth. So, I'm not going to hang out with y'all today. I got to figure out what's going on. So hit the old goob and saw some stuff. We're ready to go.
Well, I mean, I had like created the stream, like the stream was there.
I saw that, yeah. So I was like, okay, those topics, I got that. But there's also this. This is talked a little bit about this morning, but this is going to be interesting to see. Elon Musk has said basically the XAI game studio is going to release a great AI generated game before the end of next year. Now, I don't think he made this clip. He just kind of quote tweeted, something like that. But are we are slowly getting into the age where even you, Ryan, can make a game with AI. If you were going to make a game, what would it be? Like, do you have anything in mind that you would really love to play?
Look, I don't have a creative bone in my body. I think that I talked about this a little bit on my stream yesterday, actually, when people were talking about AI and blah, 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 all this shit. I think that in the same way, different advancements in technology or the proliferation of social media has, given everybody more opportunities to do things or say things or create things or whatever. Yeah, are we going to have those people that have this incredible concept, this incredible idea, but don't have the money or connections or possibility to make it happen? All of a sudden, they are going to be able to make it happen and put out something really cool in the world. Yeah, that is probably the case. Also, it means that for every one time that happens, 99 other times, somebody that has no business, no fucking actual creativity, isn't fucking good at anything, they will also have that opportunity to put out absolute garbage fucking slop. So that's what we're going to deal with AI. Yeah, anybody will now be able to create something, and maybe you'll get one good thing out of 100, but we'll also have way more dog shit.
Yes.
That's what is going to happen with AI when it comes to video games, when it comes to movies, television, fucking Instagram reels, everything.
I agree. A lot of slop. I guess time will tell. We'll see.
I mean, it's just what'll happen.
It is interesting though. Like that. We live in this time where, like you said, anyone can make a game and maybe upload it on the App Store or Steam or something like that, and just make money.
Look, the truth is, the world is full of infinitely more people who think that they would be good at something or could create something cool if they were just given the opportunity or the resources than the amount of people who could actually do that thing. The world is full of people who aren't fucking smart. The world is full of people who think their ideas are good when they're actually dog shit. That's the majority of people in this universe, in this world, on this earth. And when you give them when you prop them up, when you give them this voice or whatever, they're just going to show that, yeah, actually, I fucking suck and I should stick to my normal job. That's the truth. Nobody wants to hear that because nobody wants to think that they're that person.
No,
Nobody wants to think that, no, my idea would really be good if I had all this money, if I had this thing. And then what do you turn out this stupid, dumbass fucking fan fiction bullshit? If only someone would give me the chance. No, you suck. You're trash. You're fucking awful. And now you have these tools like AI that will allow those people to put something out there that will also be fucking shit. Most of the people in this world are trash and suck.
The thing is, there are going to be several that make bad stuff and make a lot of money off of. Like when it comes to this AI stuff, they'll be able to do, and then that will like open the door for more people to try to do more stuff. But yeah, we'll be bombarded with all kinds of stuff. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the catfish streaming stuff to like really come out.
Like, dude, for decades, every different fucking generation's been told that, no, you're special. You can do anything you want. No, you can't. In all likelihood, you are not fucking special. In all likelihood, you have a range of possibilities that your life can turn out with. And like, maybe if you try really fucking hard or you don't try really hard, this is the top and the bottom. People can't do everything. Not anyone can do everything. Not everyone is fucking special. Most people aren't. Most people are dregs. Most people are losers. Most people are just going to be cogs in this big fucking system. But this gives people this idea that they can be anything, that they can do anything. You fucking can't. Just realize that about yourself. Motivational Mondays with Ryan Kill.
You sound like my father.
The world would be better if everyone knew their fucking place. But anyway, Alex McCarthy for $2. Rock ain't cooking. Well, he is, but nobody can smell it. Meta PC code RK Outpost Drunk 3PO. Thank you, Alex. As a reminder, go check out Meta PC's link is in the description. On Gotham, which twin did you like? Keenan with the random questions, bro. On Gotham, which twin did you like better? Jerome Valeska or Jeremiah Valeska?
I got nothing.
I don't even remember. I don't even remember the differences, Keenan.
I got nothing.
I'll go with Jerome. Keenan for $2. Can you juggle or know anyone who can? I mean, I can juggle 3 objects for a little while. I can't do anything more than that. That's pretty easy though.
Well, that means I know Ryan. I don't think I can juggle anything.
You give me 3, I can keep him afloat for a while.
I have to know my place in this world, and juggling is not something that is in my pocket. So
yeah. I mean, I don't even know if I'd call that, like, I feel like anybody with like 10 minutes of practice can probably figure out how to do 3. Like, that's not even that hard. I don't know if I'd count that as juggling. That's basic bitch shit.
I just want to go back to the old Gen Xers, like the playgrounds back in my day. Those are the best playground. We were talking about it earlier today. You went down on a hot slide that they built way too high that probably should have fallen over and killed us all. And then you slide uncontrollably fast than what they probably had set up into like a pile of gravel. You know, could be an ant pile down there. They didn't come there and treat that. You got all scratched up, beat up, probably broken arm. You still went back up that ladder and went down that slide again, bro.
Dude, I have this vivid memory of elementary school playground where we would on the merry-go-round, and our playground was, of course, covered in like nowadays it's like this soft fake mulch kind of stuff or whatever.
It's weird.
My elementary school playground was pebbles, right? It was like rocks. They were like
Yeah, it's
smooth
gravel.
rocks, and they're like,
That's
"Hey,
right.
it's all good. The rocks, but they're smooth." Um, and we would go on we would play this game. I don't even know what we called it, but we would go on the merry-go-round, and you have like 4 people on the merry-go-round. Everybody else would be around spinning it, like they'd run around with it and get it spinning as fast as they
And
fucking
you just
could.
try to hold on for dear life.
Well, no, then we would fucking
Oh.
try to knock each other off,
Oh, that's
right? And
even
the
better.
last one standing won. It was like a fucking gladiator thing. I have this vivid memory of me and my friend were the last 2 on there, and he was like on his back, and I had him like by the throat, pushing his head down, like to try to get him in the pebbles, and like stopping and being like, what am I doing? Like I had to like stop and be like, I'm about to like choke my friend and shove his head into rocks on this merry-go-round. I don't, what are we playing? We probably shouldn't be doing this, but it was fun.
Oh man, the good old days of playgrounds. They just built it wherever. Yeah, it was gravel. Nothing soft there. Everybody left with an injury, but with a smile.
Bro, I remember I thought I broke my back one time because we got on top of the slide and we jump across like a big gap to like grab onto the monkey bars and stuff, like completely on the other side. So we'd get off the edge of the slide and make this jump. And one time I grabbed it and I wasn't able to grip it enough. And I just swung and fell
And
flat
fell.
on my fucking
Yeah.
back. I was fine though.
Seen a few kids do that in their day. Right
Once
on the hard
buddy
ground.
my buddy cracked open the top of his head when we were just running around.
Yeah.
And he just fucking fell and went head first into a pipe, like one of the support pipes.
That's what I'm
Fucking
saying, man. It
bleeding
was a different
everywhere.
time. It's a different.
We just, we,
They didn't have that tic-tac-toe.
bro, we just throw rocks at each other for
I
fun.
know. I know. We shot fireworks at each other,
Hey.
man. We all got bottle rockets.
We didn't have phones. We
We're
fucking
just
tried to
shooting
throw rocks at each other.
freaking bottle rockets at each other, thinking it was funny. No glasses, no nothing. Just like, hey, there's Billy over there. Hey, watch this. You know,
Bro,
you burn your hand on the.
I used to like take pens apart and then like put a little rubber
Oh yeah,
band.
you put that. Put
a little rubber band on the end of it,
Yeah.
try to shoot the cartridge. And if you stuck it in somebody's skin, that was like a huge win. You know?
Yeah, that was great.
What the fuck is wrong with us? It was the good old days.
It was boys turning into
Keenan.
men. That's what was wrong with us.
Keenan for 2. Have you ever heard the song Red Red Wine by Bob Marley? Yeah, I think so.
I think I heard the updated version.
Life on Marshmallows. Welcome to the Rebellion, part 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Andre CR. Ryan, go away.
Oh.
Maximus for 199. Shiitake.
Gets me every time.
Cole Hauser for 5. Hail Ryan and Jay. Looks like I'm not getting my fried chicken. Praise Allah. No, you're not, Cole Hauser. If the Yankees won the World Series, I was going to have to give Cole Hauser a big bucket of fried chicken.
Really?
That's what he wanted. But they're in a hole. They've been outscored like 1,000,000-2. Brock, remember to stay hydrated. Drink water. I need to get more water, but I have some. Thanks, Brock. Crispy Noken. Hail to all. Getting ready for New York Comic Con Saturday. If anyone in the chat is going, I want to meet y'all. Just look for the G&G backpack.
Oh, that's cool. You
That's
can't
cool.
miss Crispy. Crispy's like 6'6". It's a big kid, man.
Dude.
And he's usually always like dressed up as something. So
I will not be at New York Comic Con. I will be here in Florida. Decrepit. Ryan's game is Brie Larson. Feet masseuse 5. Cole Hauser for 2. Ryan, the world is full of idiots. I agree. Somebody's car alarm is going off. I think they tried to open it and accidentally hit it.
after seeing this world.
After seeing Alien Earth, Jurassic Park 25.3, I welcome our new slop overlords, says
That's
Ministry of Wrong Thing.
a lot of people saying that. They're like, all the crap we're getting right now, it's like, maybe it'll be better. Who knows?
Prophet JD for 35. Andre dropped real currency for Ryan to take leave. It's like $10. That's not enough for me to get a day off. Jesus for 2. Good morning, Ryan and Jay. Feeling better today, Ryan? I'm feeling a little better. My throat's still obviously not fully.
Hold on a second. Go back. That was Jesus texting.
Jesus.
Ryan, have you heard? There's a new app called Leap of Faith where you can text with Jesus Christ, Mary, Joseph, Moses. You know, the app's creator says most users are embracing the new way of worship while critics slam it as blasphemous. So they give you AI responses when you text with Jesus or Mary or Joseph. I mean, you look at stuff like this and you're just like, yeah, maybe that's not a good idea. I don't know. Do you want to talk to Moses on an app? Right? Ask him about the locusts, maybe, you know?
I think this is horrible. Like we've already got enough problems with different people having their interpretations of whatever version of the Bible they have or read or whatever denomination they are. We've already got enough issues without AI getting involved.
Yeah,
okay?
Exactly. What would you say to Joseph? Hey, Joseph, big day? Like, what? You heading out to Nazareth? You know, how was that trip? Did you stop at any Buc-ee's?
Yeah, Joseph, did you have any doubts?
Yeah,
like, she came with that story. Do you really just believe her right away? I mean, obviously you did, but is there anything in the back of your mind that's like, she could be making a lot of shit up, man? I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no desire to ever interact with that AI in any way. It's fucking weird and stupid.
No, it's very weird. Very weird.
The Greek says, I agree with Ryan. Well, thank you, the Greek.
As you should.
Mad Frog for 199. It's over. It was over before it began. Ryan. And then VJ, the vigilant guitarist, Ryan or Dwight, the world needs a new plague. I agree. I agree with that. Demogenai for 2. Being the Lord Commander of the Dark Council is special. Thanks, Demogenai. Chikara, been binge watching police cam vids with abusive, useless parents and got so upset and angry I threw my keyboard at the screen. Sent me back $400. Well, Chikara, I would recommend not engaging with that content quite as much if you're going to get that upset. But sorry, you cost yourself that much money. That's crazy. And it's sad that shit exists. Chris B for 5. My friends and I would haul our bikes up the playground big slide, like 15 feet, all metal and sharp, to ride down it. Place was like Mad Max. Yeah. I imagine the amount of lawsuits that would stem from the type of playgrounds that we were on then. Like, that's one of the reasons they aren't like that now, because the amount of fucking lawsuits that would come out from them.
Once in a while, someone will post a picture and they're like, hey, I came across this small town and look at the playground. Like, never changed. But there's like rust on the on the poles holding it up. It's like, man.
Speaking of lawsuits that mean you can't have fun anymore, Jay, is there anything you wanted to talk about?
Yes. We've been keeping an eye on the Stardust Racers, the guy that died on the roller coaster at Epic Universe. And their attorney that's suing, I guess, is like they're gonna have a press conference later today. Might be while we're live. Not. I don't think we'll go to it. We'll just
Ben. I have no desire to listen to Ben Crump speak any more than I've already heard in my life. That dude is a massive, and I don't know if it's going to get clipped out for park hopping, but I don't care. Ben Crump is a massive pile of shit. Ambulance chasing, race drifting piece of garbage. The dude sucks. The dude is awful. Ben Crump is trash. Go ahead.
Yes. So this is the Stardust Racer. We've been reporting that a guy that needed help to get in had a condition, but he also passed away. And they shut the ride down while there was an investigation. Well, they reopened the ride yesterday. It was reopened. People got to ride and experience, but Universal decided that they were going to enforce and kind of add a little more restrictions to people that are going to ride rides across their parks, not just this roller coaster. They're just like, you know what? We're going to make it very clear as to who can get on these rides so we don't have to deal with this stuff again. Guests using mobility devices, including wheelchairs, are now required to walk independently in order to experience the Stardust Racers attraction at Universal Epic Universe. But it's not just there. It's others. It used to be where if you could have like a caretaker or whoever's with you to assist you to get into the chair of certain rides. And then they'd strap you in and you could ride the roller coaster. But no, they even got a new sign up where he's been healed, like he's up out of the wheelchair. He's running to get on the ride.
He's been delivered.
Yeah, he's been delivered. Guests using mobility devices must be able to walk independently. Now, that's kind of a interesting statement because you can walk independently. I don't know.
Well, look, this
do you
is
really
what I
need a
will
wheelchair? But maybe you do. I don't know.
There's a lot of people that have these scooters or that have wheelchairs or whatever while they're at Universal that it's not like they're paralyzed, right? It's not like they need that all the time, every day in their life. However, if you are spending an entire day at a theme park, there's some people that might have conditions or pain or whatever.
Correct.
That they can't walk 15 miles in a day. They can't walk 30,000 steps like it would be required to kind of take a jaunt around the theme park. I think that's a decent amount of people who end up using these wheelchairs or scooters or whatever. Sometimes it's just because they're fat people. Sometimes it's because they might have actually a condition or like a leg pain problem or whatever. I don't usually have too much sympathy for those people. But
Universal's been very harsh on who rents those things now, wanting doctor's notes and stuff like that. But not only is it that ride, it's Velocicoaster, Harry Potter and Forbidden Journey, basically all the thrill rides. They're going to want you to be able to walk in the line and get on the ride moving forward, which might make the lines move a lot faster, because usually if they have to assist someone in the seat, they have to stop the ride, and then help them in the seat and things like that. Well, not everybody's happy about that. There are some theme park people that they feel like Universal doesn't cater to everyone. Jenny Nicholson, you know that name. I have to give credit where credit is due. She made probably the greatest Star Cruiser video of all time. But she's come out and she's been arguing with people, her and a few others, about basically this. It says Universal has long made it clear that they don't care about making their parks accessible. And based on my recent visit, they didn't seem very concerned with safety in general. So I'm not really surprised. And other people are like, this is horrible to say. This was the best response from another theme park person. They're like, Universal, Disney, SeaWorld, Six Flags, and so many other major players prioritize safety at their parks. It's safer than anywhere else you want to go. So, but they're not happy because Universal has done a few things. Number one, when obese people went to Universal, asking them to change the seats in their Mario Kart ride, they literally said no. They asked them to change a couple seats on the other ride, like Disney has done to accommodate bigger guests, and they've said no, we're not going to do that. And now they're making these restrictions. If you're in a wheelchair and you can't walk, you're not riding the ride. So
I also want to make something clear when it comes to like Universal's statement. Universal is walking a very fine line here. By one, you have somebody that died on your ride. Now, This is not somebody that should have been riding the ride. And you, as a massive corporation, it's a bad PR look to point at a grieving family who's lost their, significant other, their son, their brother, whatever it might be, and be like, it's kind of his fault. He shouldn't have been on this fucking ride. It's his fault that he's dead. That's a bad look for a multi-billion-dollar corporation to do to a grieving family. On the same time, when they came out and made this statement, when I read it, it made it very clear that, one, they talked about all the testing they'd done on Stardust Racers, not just them, but also the state of Florida and third parties, to be like, hey, the ride didn't malfunction. There was nothing wrong with it. The ride operated exactly as it should, and every normal person is able to ride this ride and no problems. This person shouldn't have been on the ride. And when it comes to their new standards, when I was reading their statement, the way it was phrased seemed like it was, hey, these have kind of always been our standards for people with these certain conditions. They shouldn't be riding these rides, but we're going to make it even more restrictive now to make sure that for those people, they can't get away with it. They can't, even though they're not supposed to ride this ride, they can't get on there anyway, which is part of the new rollout they're doing. Unfortunately, because it is such a bad look for a multi-billion-dollar corporation to, basically go out of their way and say, hey, it's your kid's fault. It's your wheelchair-bound kid's fault that he died on our ride. My guess is they're probably going to come to some kind of settlement with the family and with Ben Crump, which disgusts me. But based on corporate PR, it's just my guess on how it's going to go.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So you can ride Stardust Racers next time you go, Jay?
Absolutely. I love that ride. It's awesome. It's freaking awesome.
Let's see. Valiant Renegade for $20. Same reaction when I saw that story. Crump is trash. Rode Starduster 4 times this weekend. Nobody with spinal atrophy should go on a ride like that. Common sense, not Universal's fault. Thank you, Valiant Renegade. Valiant Renegade was at Halloween Horror Nights the other night. Spent some time in Orlando at Universal at the theme park. So shout out. Jesus Davila, smash the like button. Thanks, Jesus.
What? Wait, do we have an avatar change?
What?
Jesus. My.
Oh, yeah, it is a different avatar for him. He's usually Deadpool in some way. Demi Moore's tapeworm. That app sounds demonic. Demi Moore has a tapeworm? Blue shell draw 4. I do wonder if Ryan or Jay's ever chucked charcoal at others or objects because it would explode on contact. Charcoal? I can't say I really threw a bunch of charcoal at people.
You know what we used to buy a lot? You know those little like snap fire, like those things you throw on the ground and they pop? Oh man, we chuck them at people, put them in rubber bands all the time. They'd hit you and be like, pop. Oh.
The neighborhood I grew up in was like right next to a big apple orchard, like a huge apple orchard. We used to go there, fucking grab apples and just chuck them at each other all the time. Or passing cars, or really anything. So. Josh C. Bro, I remember one summer it was pretty dry. We were fucking around with fireworks. And the backyard of my friend's house bumped right up against the apple orchard property. Woo. We were fucking around with fireworks, and fucking one of them, instead of shooting straight up in the air, just went fucking right into this big pile of dry brush. And we're like, oh shit. And then all of a sudden, things on fire. Like 2 rows of apple trees burned down. And every time the next one would light up, you just hear like, and it like starts sizzling and shit. Yeah.
Holy crap.
We were really lucky it didn't burn a shit ton down, dude. We got out there. We had like the hose wouldn't reach so far, so we'd get buckets. We were trying to do everything. We're like, we're not going to call the fucking fire department because we're not going to let people know this is our fault.
I know. I don't mind getting in trouble.
It just kind of burned down. It just burned out, I should say. It wasn't very windy or anything, but holy shit, we lucked out. Ever play on a wooden playground? Good times. Yeah.
All the time. Yeah. Splinter galore, man.
Redman said no one's ever heard Red Red Wine by Bob Marley because he didn't sing it. Tony Tribe and UB40 in the 90s.
UB40, yeah, that's the version.
One. Maybe that's the one I remember then.
Red Red Wine. That's the one, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Flag Ninja for 5. Jay or Ryan, ask Jay about Haitian playgrounds and dodgeballs to the face.
Haitian playgrounds? No playgrounds in Haiti. Dodgeball. We were talking about like how it's changed now. Like the dodgeballs and the kickballs at the school are not those big red rubber balls anymore that you like would beam people in the face. Just got to like try to beam them in the face, man. Like that was the target. Now it's like a big like marshmallow thing. Doesn't hurt at all. And then like they have those for the kickballs in the school. I don't know, maybe your schools, their schools, some other schools are different, but they have those at the kickballs too. Yeah, you kick it as hard as you can. It just kind of doesn't really go anywhere. Doesn't really do much. I was like, man, bring back the red ball. There was
That
nothing
red
like
rubber
if you
boing.
beam someone in the face during dodgeball with you were like the hero of the week. Everybody talked about your awesome throw. Or if you caught one in the face, talked about you too.
There you go.
Great
Jay,
days.
you're James Bond guy.
I'm more of an Ethan Hunt man. I like James Bond. I've watched some of the films, not as my brother's more dedicated to that IP than I am.
Well,
But
your brother,
yeah, I heard some changes are being made, huh?
your brother has good taste because James Bond is awesome. But unfortunately, with Amazon taking full creative control of the James Bond franchise, as many missteps as we've seen in, say, the Daniel Craig era, when it was learned that Amazon had bought out Barbara Broccoli and the family, and they now retain full creative control, can do whatever they want with the character, not just distribution rights, but can do whatever they want, including turning it into a content mine and a bunch of random spin-off shows or whatever. People were very worried about what would happen to James Bond. Not the least of being, was he going to remain a straight white British male? I don't know if we thought that this would be happening this quickly, but nevertheless, a few days ago, people noticed some changes to James Bond, Jay. Amazon removes James Bond's gun from new posters. Who thought this was a good idea? Yesterday was James Bond Day, a date that should have been a celebration of the world's most famous secret agent. Instead, it turned into a baffling moment of corporate sanitization. Amazon unveiled its glossy new set of digital posters for every 007 film in the franchise, but fans noticed something off. Very off. Bond's iconic Walther PPK gone. Every single one of the new posters, many of which appear to be faithful recreations of classic artwork, has been scrubbed clean of the firearm that's been synonymous with the character for over 6 decades. The results, awkward, and in some cases, unintentionally hilarious. So this was one of the tweets that really got around quickly. So he's supposed to have a gun.
Right.
Supposed to have a gun right there. Pierce Brosnan, supposed to have a gun right here. You should have a gun probably in his holster or whatever here for Spectre. Bro, why would you even think about doing this? You bought the rights for this character. You paid billions of dollars for James Bond. James Bond, who has a license to kill. James Bond, whose gun is just as synonymous with his name and with his character as his drink is, or as his greeting and introduction is. Like, these things are integral parts of the character. Yet you try to remove it on these posters. And the crazy thing is, Jay, for all these fucking posters, some of which are, not changed, but some of which they did change, or they try to Photoshop it in some way, some bullshit way to get the gun out of there. In every one of these posters, Jay, you know what you have? You have the fucking logo.
With the gun.
Which includes a gun. That's how much this gun matters to this character. The fucking logo is a gun. And it's still there. What the fuck were they thinking?
They got activists running the show over there, man. If we learned anything from Rings of Power, and they just didn't want to offend anybody because, if he had a gun in his hand, it might offend some people. We don't want to offend anybody. Let's just keep everything soft. And it's so pathetic, like that they would even do that and think that that was okay. No one's going to notice. Come on. No one's going to notice. Are you serious? It's so stupid. You're right. It's like there's no reason for this. Like I have no idea. Those posters, I mean, these pictures of like the different Bonds and like holding their guns and stuff, like they've been around forever, and yet you decide to take it into your own hands and rewrite history to make it a safer film. Are they gonna change some of the movie? Are they gonna cut out, where he's like James Bond, he picks up hot women, and he has a good time with them? Is that going to be offensive? Are they going to cut out certain scenes where he shoots somebody?
That's
as
are they
a
gonna pull like an ET, right? Something like that. Look,
yeah,
I
that's what I'm
don't think
saying.
so. And very quickly, they kind of reverted this. They're like, holy shit, this is a bad idea, right? Amazon have discreetly reversed their decision, restored the original James Bond artwork with the guns intact. Shameful we even ended up here, but who's happy to see sanity prevail?
Wow.
And so, yes, they, after about 24 hours after they changed this, they went back and they did kind of revert to some of the original images and stuff like that that they had on the streaming service on Amazon Prime. But like, this is just a reminder of who is in charge now. And this is
Yes.
a reminder of why people are worried about what comes next. Not only what
100.
they are maybe trying to do with the old ones, but what's going to follow up from this. Now, I like Denis Villeneuve. And I think if he tries to do a Bond movie, it could be really fucking good. However, what I'm very worried about is all of this other stuff that surrounds it. And if they think that this is a good idea, I shudder to think about what they want to do with the character moving forward.
It'll be another IP destroyed because they're trying to get messaging or make him a different person of who he actually is. You know, it's just he's a guy, he's a spy, he kills people, he solves the crime. You know, he picks up the hot chick, has sex with them in the film. I mean, that's just that's what he is. James Bond drives an awesome car, has an awesome watch. It's like that's part of the formula here. Like, my gosh, man, they go in there and they mess this up. Did it look like they were heading that direction though with the last two Bond films or the last Bond film? Like,
Well,
was it because
I think
apparently
go ahead.
I don't know if do we give spoilers? Apparently, he dies at the end.
It came out like fucking 40 years ago. I think we're okay.
So he dies at the end of the film, you know, and you're just like, and then they go, James Bond will return after he's dead.
Well, we could do a 3-hour long stream about the missteps of the Daniel Craig era of James Bond and all of that stuff. But this is a good reminder that if you thought it was bad, it can always get worse.
A lot worse.
A lot worse. So who knows? Maybe we'll have a gunless, black, gay James Bond butt fucking other dudes. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, go all in. Non-binary, trans, gay, female. I don't know. Yeah, just. I mean, look what we got with Harry Potter. Look at Rings of Power. Even though Harry Potter is not Amazon, but still, it's like other people taking IPs and deciding they can do it better than the original story. Star Wars, Marvel. It's like the list goes on and on. We can do it better. We can do it a lot better than what those people don't know anything. They'll be fine. The only thing left is the only thing we'll have left is SpongeBob.
SpongeBob's gonna be black and gay.
Gonna be the only IP left that wasn't touched. Oh man.
Rudy for 2. My playground was wood, metal, and sand. Good times.
Good times, man. The only problem with the sand playgrounds is every now and then, like cat turds they would pop up every now and then.
Yeah, you have those dumb kids that are fucking trying to eat them and shit in the sandbox. That one's got Jay written all over it.
No, I didn't do that.
See Jay walking up to his mom, be like, "Mom, I found treasure in the sandbox. I'm a pirate. Look what I found."
My playground had gravel.
Up, sand-covered cat turd. I found chocolate in there, Mom.
Oh, man, we didn't have sand. We had gravel. None of that stuff.
Kanan for 2. Ever hear the song Waterfalls by TLS?
Of course. Don't go chasing them.
Crystal D. I'm legally blind. I can walk, but I use a cane and might need someone's arm. Would I still be able to ride? Thanks, guys. 199. I believe so. Yeah. This isn't for people that have like eye impairment or anything like that. This is for people that can't physically walk.
Correct.
Right. So like they're and the reason for that being is, I mean, I believe Universal's reason is if you can't support yourself, if you can't
Right.
do something like that, if your body is so disabled that you're not able to physically hold yourself upright or do things like this, then your body might not be able to take these rides. So, as far as I know, if you're just blind and don't have any problems walking or anything, I'm sure you'd be perfectly fine, Crystal.
I agree.
Demi Moore's tapeworm for $5. She does now, Jay. How else do you think she stays so thin? Bruce says hi, but forgot. Damn. That last one's brutal. Get it?
Yeah.
Jesus Davila, Ryan, notice anything weird about my profile picture?
It's a Halloween theme, no?
Well, it's Spider-Man, not Deadpool. So it's Spider-Man with a cowboy hat. Is that the girl from The Ring
The
in the
Ring, I
background?
think, yeah.
I don't know who that is, but there's some girl with long dark hair and like a white dress or something. It's so small I can like hardly pick it out, but it reminds me of the girl from The Ring, which creeped me the fuck out when I was a kid.
That movie was
Not when I was a kid, I'd say when I was in middle school, high school, whenever that
was
came
wild.
out. Jesus, text Jesus the secret, how to turn water into wine. Maybe he'll tell us. Yeah. Krog based. If the next Bond is black, he'll be double O IQ. Thank you. Flag Ninja, removing the gun from James Bond's like cutting out one of his nuts. It's revisionist history.
Agreed.
Amazon is stupid. It's literally a barrel that follows him in the intro. I also have a Walther PPK.
Correct.
Well, I looked at getting one time, and I'm like, I'm never gonna fucking use it. I would just be buying it to have it, and I'm like, I can't justify spending the money. But I really wanted to buy the one I saw one time. Bungles Twanger for $5. At some point, these tech companies will lose interest in their movies, TV side projects. What will happen to all these IPs after that?
I think these IPs are like toys that billionaires buy just for like Amazon, just to say I own it.
I think that maybe when you look at something like Rings of Power, like as a project, maybe you could say that. I think that most of these IPs, like most of them do think that, hey, this is something that has a built-in fan base. It will be easier to make money off of these things because of X, Y, Z. And they're kind of right in a lot of aspects. Especially when the writers are desperate to insert their agenda. You can get your agenda and your propaganda in front of a lot more people if it's shoved into a pre-existing IP. Because if you just come out with your own original story, your own original characters, all of that shit, in all likelihood, when you shove it full of propaganda, it's not really going to get any attention. No one's going to fucking care about it. No one's going to watch it. It's going to get canceled. When you have something with a pre-existing fan base and people that are interested in something, and when you announce that it's coming out, you already have a bunch of people talking about it and all this stuff, you do have just a higher level of audience engagement and interaction and people that will tune in because they're interested for you to use as a platform for your propaganda. Because otherwise, it would likely never get made. And if it did get made, no one would fucking watch it. So.
Speaking, wondering if anyone will watch. This is just some of this stuff has just been released about the Game of Thrones prequel.
A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah.
They misspelled it. It should be a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. You stupid fucks at Screen Time. How much you pay for that gold check mark? You can't even fucking get that shit right.
Won't feature dragons or magic, as it's set 50 years after the death of the last dragon. Nobody's thinking about magic. This could basically be 14th century Britain, according to Entertainment Weekly.
Correct. That is what this story is. So Knight of the Seven Kingdoms follows but it will follow the stories of Dunk and Egg. Dunk, who is a tall knight, and Egg, who serves as his squire, but it gets revealed that well, I mean, it's not really much of a spoiler. Egg is Aegon Targaryen. He's like 10 years old. He's a young boy. He shaves his head. so that nobody sees his hair, stuff like that. But it's cool. I really like the couple stories. They're shorter stories than the normal Game of Thrones stuff. They're a little, they're not quite as dark and demented as some of the Game of Thrones stories. But where this takes place, it is, I think you're still probably like maybe 100 years before, I don't know about 100, maybe closer to like 80 or 70 years before kind of the main series. But significantly after what we see from, House of the Dragon. So this is after all the dragons are gone and the Targaryens, they are still in power, but people don't quite look at them the same way now that they're not backed by the power of dragons. Now that you truly, like, all the people in Westeros don't look at the Targaryens as almost like above human in some way, like more than human because of their connection with dragons.
You looking forward to it?
I am. I think that, unfortunately, this is yet another series from George R.R. Martin set in the Game of Thrones universe that is unfinished. He's only written 3 books, and I think there's supposed to be at least 5 stories.
Wow.
But it's cool. Dunk is a good dude, right? And there's not many good dudes, just genuinely straight up good dudes in the Game of Thrones universe. But Dunk is one of those. Sir Duncan the Tall. And
tall tale that became legend. There it is.
He gets a little bit caught up in some problems. He just wants to be a knight. And he gets caught up in some problems. He tries to step in to save somebody, offends the wrong person, and all goes a little bit haywire. That's what we should get out of this first season.
When does it release?
Early next year, I think.
Early next year, yeah.
Yeah. Early next year. But they're fairly short, like, and they're not nearly as complex. They don't have a bunch of different like point of view characters and everything. It's all taking place kind of. This entire season should all take place in the same area.
Okay.
Which probably makes it a lot easier to film, a lot less expensive, and it's probably going to be 6 30 to 40 minute episodes. So it'll be like a 3-hour story. Where the fuck did I leave off? Jester Roanoke, beyond the poster changes, this stupid censorship damages the Bond brand. How much trust does this erode? How many millions does this lose them? I don't know. Cole Hauser for 2. This will probably mute pussy. They'll probably mute pussy galore and Octopussy. We'll have a random ADR line in we'll have a random ADR line in Goldfinger where James Bond asks for consent in the barn.
Yeah. Yeah.
After Pussy Galore repeatedly says no. Fake Thai dude. Here in Thai TV, they blur out guns and knives.
Really?
That's wild. Paul Zoost, when it comes to Amazon MGM, anything they make has to be woke by policy. These policies govern any and all consumer film content under the Amazon MGM umbrella that's been made as far back as a few years ago and forever forward. I'll be honest, there are some things that come out from Amazon that I think escape that a little bit. I think Reacher is really good. I think Terminal List was fucking awesome. The first season of Terminal List, can't wait for season 2. Terminal List Dark Wolf was also pretty good. Not at the same level as Terminal List season 1, but I think a lot of times it depends on who gets control of these projects, but certainly it seems like most that come out, especially these established IPs, do get fucked. Jesus Davila with a gifted membership. Thank you. Cole Hauser for 5. There's an episode of SpongeBob called Sailor Mouth. They pulled it because of the F-bombs. I thought that was just, I thought that episode was when they were using the dolphin to mask the swear words. Z Highness for a buck on Rumble.
Squeak. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Say again.
The dolphin squeak, right?
Yeah. Z Highness for a buck. Ryan's game, Right Wing Simulator, where your order is sent correctly. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Shutch for 5. If Jay's a pirate, that would make Ryan an ass pirate. Very creative, Shutch. Stephen McBride for 2. Ever heard the song Mambo No. 5 by John Legend? Thank you. Keenan,
pretty
Bob
good.
Marley did not do Red Red Wine. I was tricked. Flag Ninja, to be fair, I felt weird when they pulled him out of an Aston Martin and plopped him into a BMW. Yeah, I'm sure some of that was for marketing purposes and shit like that here and there. If I could imagine, but I ain't not wrong. At least you still had a car.
Mm.
It's not like that. James Bond has to take the bus now because cars are offensive. Over on the locals side of things, I see A Money Wilson says, drink your gay tea, Ryan. I might have to have some afterwards. My throat's getting a little scratchy. And then Grabthar's Hammer for $1 says maybe James Bond will be armed with a pallet of bricks. James Bond will be
maybe
Antifa.
He'll just use a protest sign.
James Bond will be Antifa, maybe.
He just use a protest sign, you know. Maybe the new series will have him defend, you know, all the protesters.
James Bond's going to be a transgender activist.
Yeah, for Black Lives Matter.
Who fucking knows? Jay, a new movie came out in the theaters.
Yeah, I sure did, didn't
weekend. And I'm not talking about Taylor Swift's Showgirls, whatever. I'm talking about The Rock's Smashing Machine, which has been pretty heavily promoted. It's been trotted around to all these different film festivals. A lot of people saying this is going to be The Rock's real. It's going to be him showing and proving that he can do dramatic roles and blah, blah, blah. Well, even though some critics gave it a lot of love from putting on a bunch of makeup and prosthetics and shit like that and saying he transformed himself, it's not doing so well at the box office. In fact, get out of here. The Rock's Oscar bait UFC movie, The Smashing Machine, flops at the box office with a $6 million opening. $6 million opening weekend. Now, it is not like this thing was projected to make $100 million in its opening weekend. It's not at the same level of some of the big blockbuster things we've seen The Rock do before. So I don't think anyone was expecting $70, $80 million for an opening. However, for it to be only $6 million, especially when it was projected to be somewhere around the $8 to $15 million range, and when you factor in the $50 million budget for this movie, it's not looking good for The Rock. And we can go here. Taylor Swift's release party of a showgirl triumphs with $33 million. Dwayne Johnson's Smashing Machine bombs with $6 million. Elsewhere at the box office, audiences couldn't smell what The Rock was cooking. This weekend's other newcomer, Dwayne Johnson's R-rated sports drama, The Smashing Machine, cratered in third place with $6 million. And it's a pretty wide release too, 3,345 venues. Those ticket sales were below projections and marked a career low for Johnson, below his 2010 thriller Faster, 8.5 million not adjusted for inflation. It is the lowest opening of his entire career. Not adjusted for inflation.
Even the Scorpion King.
Everything. Ignominious records aside, it's a blow to A24, which spent $50 million to promote the movie or to produce the movie, and many millions more in promotional efforts, including stops at Venice and Toronto Film Festival. And it was getting a lot of praise coming out of there, talking about The Rock and how he's showing he's a real actor and stuff like that. But it is not equating to box office results. I think the cinema score coming out was like a B-, which doesn't bode well for its potential hold.
Wow.
I know it was The Rock trying to do something different. And look, when I watched the trailers, I was like, oh, this might look interesting. I'm still going to give it a review and, give it a chance. But that is a lot of money for a movie like this for the return that they're getting.
What's the last big hit? I guess you could say Moana 2 was a pretty big hit for but he's a voice actor in that. But last time he really carried a film, what was he? Let's see, we got
Jumanji 2.
Red Notice. That was a few years back. That was big on Netflix, right? On streaming. Fast and Furious wasn't really the lead, but kind of. Didn't he do a spinoff to that?
Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, that's right. Hobbs and Shaw. I don't know, man. He just I think after Black Adam, it just was just when you see The Rock. I don't, man. I just want to see when I think of The Rock, I just want to see him in like some of the old Arnold Schwarzenegger roles where he just is an action guy and just kills everybody. That's it. I don't want to see him in some dramatic role. I don't want to see him in a series. Maybe I mean, good for him. He's trying to do something different.
I think he wants to be taken seriously. You know what I mean? I think
Taken
after doing all
serious.
this, after doing all this stuff for so long and being so kind of these kind of action adventure type of movies where he kind of plays the same person over and over again, I think he wanted to do something to be taken more seriously. And maybe with the maybe it is Oscar bait, right? Maybe the
Yeah.
people like that fucking decide these things, the people that say, hey, you know, these movies that nobody fucking watched, we think these were really the best. Maybe those people will give him the flowers that he's so desperately looking for and the respect that he's looking for. But when it comes to, look, no one should have ever expected this to be a Jumanji level box office, right? That's not
Yeah.
what this movie is. However, you have to factor in what you put into it. And if you put $50 million into producing this movie, which I don't know how, I don't know why it costs that much, but that's what it costs from A24, a production company that has a decent amount of respect for the stuff that they put out, the level of quality that they put out. Some things are certainly better than others. You're expecting more than a return like this. And I don't imagine that it's going to have a huge international pull. The
No.
Rock movies sometimes do have big international pull, but I don't think that's going to be the way with this. I really don't.
No, I agree. Did you have any interest in seeing this film?
From the trailers, I did. From the trailers, like, you know what? I'm going to give that a chance. See how The Rock performs in a movie like this. I like Emily Blunt for the most part.
My first thought for me was when it comes on streaming, I'll probably watch it. Like I wasn't going to spend the money in the theater to go see this film. So, so I guess we'll see what happens. But it'll probably be, if that's the case, it'll be on streaming very quickly. Just like that Him movie starring that Wayans kid. It's already
like
coming out streaming in
45.
like 12 days. I think it was. It was like 12 or 13 days. It's like it's already heading to streaming.
Well, let's also be clear, going to digital and going to streaming are two different things.
That's true. Gotcha.
Because streaming would mean that if you're subscribed to a streaming service, you just get that for no extra charge. Whereas if it releases on digital, that means video on demand, all that stuff. So we'll see.
And The Rock was in a film called I want to say it's called Faster, where he just where he gets out of jail. He doesn't really say anything in the whole movie, and he just goes and kills people. It's like I thought that was great. Was it called Faster?
That was his previous lowest opening in history.
Oh, was it really? That's like one of my favorites. I love that film.
Yep.
I love that film. He doesn't really talk. He just goes out and kills people.
Achilles Jones for 2. They made M a female, so Q will be a they them. They did make Q gay in the last one. In the Daniel Craig movies. I think it was in the last movie. It wasn't like it was like one line where he mentioned maybe the name of his partner or something that you could probably miss it in passing, but they did do that. Just let's get back to basics with Bond.
It's it, man.
Let's do a fucking here, Denis, my French brother. Let's do a Bond period piece. Let's put it back in the fucking 60s. Let's put it back during the Cold War, where you don't have cell phones, where you don't have all this advanced surveillance technology, where you let's do an actual old school fucking spy thriller. Let's make M a man. Not that I don't love Judi Dench in the Pierce Brosnan movies, but let's bring it back in this era. Let's make M a man. Let's make Q an old man. Let's bring it back, baby. Let's bring James Bond back to basics. That's what I'm asking for.
And I hope that becomes a huge success when they start looking at that and all the other IPs they've wrecked. Go back to basics.
Cole Hauser for 2. He killed my beloved G.I. Joe. Did The Rock really kill G.I. Joe?
That was a rough one.
But didn't people hate the first one too?
Yeah, they were rough. And the Snake Eyes film, even worse. I mean, it's like
James Bond would be played by Pedro Pascal.
yes, probably.
That might be the last straw for me on this earth if that happens. Like, I'm not lying. Like, I might be done. Like, it might be over for me at that point. Flag Ninja, watch the new Toxic Avenger. I'd rather watch the original though. Thanks, Flag Ninja. I had no interest in seeing that shit. Honestly,
get back to basics, just like Ryan said.
Metal Slave, The Rock. I want to be taken seriously. Then shut your candy ass and just make movies, you jabroni.
Exactly.
Thanks, Metal Slave. I think with that, Jay, we're all caught up. You ran a tight ship today, Jay.
I tried my best. That's all I could say.
Got anything going on today?
Yes, the Monday Hangover tonight. We'll be going over, it's spooky season, so we're doing horror films, we're doing Arachnophobia. I hate freaking spiders. Didn't want to watch this film, but we'll be going over Arachnophobia later tonight.
There you go. Well, it's 6:30 Eastern. We'll be live over on Sports Wars for Monday Evening Quarterback. We're a fucking really weird weekend in the NFL. A lot of huge collapses by teams, including the Miami Dolphins. A lot of a lot of results that we didn't necessarily expect. So we're going to talk about all of that. And then at 9 p.m. Eastern on my channel, I'll be live with Very Dark for the Fuck My Life podcast. And of course, that starts right as the Cubs start playing game 2. So there is a high likelihood that you will see me get more and more angry as time goes by. So
I think they're going to win, man. I think they're going to win.
I hope so. For my sanity.
Your mental health.
For my mental health. Please think about my mental health, Chicago Cubs. All right, that's it for us. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Hope everybody has a good day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.